During my investigation into South Africa's farm murders, I've heard plenty of stories, but there is one woman in particular who has seen it all. Eileen de Jager is one of the famous Blood Sisters, a pair of crime scene cleaners who have dealt with the aftermath of more farm murders than anyone else. I wanted to find out if some of the more gruesome stories I've heard about could even possibly be true, and what the Blood Sister herself thought of the crime wave sweeping South Africa.
You never get used to cleaning up crime scenes, especially farm murders. You don't get used to it. The torture that we find have been done on these farm murders are unbelievable. We found pieces of nails being pulled out. We found hands being removed from bodies. We found people raped, brutally murdered, babies, children, the farmers trying to protect their families, and there's just no stopping. The farm murders are brutal. Rolene and I went to this farm murder scene in the northwest, and we came upon this beautiful white house, and everywhere you looked was blood splatter. Since from where you walked in, there was blood against the curtains, the walls, the paintings, the floor, and you could see where two babies were murdered in the bathroom. So they were definitely attacked while giving the babies a bath. One of them actually survived and crawled all the way from the bathroom. He was about 2 years old. Crawled all the way from the bathroom to the main bedroom where the mom was murdered. She was dragged to the bedroom, raped and killed, and then the one baby was murdered in the bath and the other one got out and crawled, and he died there by her side. That was a very terrible one. Another one that stays with me is in Johannesburg, just outside Johannesburg. We had a farm murder where 5 people came in. It was arranged by their domestic worker, and they drowned the 12-year-old boy in boiling hot water. So we had to remove the skin from the bath as it was peeling off him in the hot water. That was a terrible scene.
What's particularly bizarre about the crime in South Africa towards white farmers is much of it is played off as simply robberies gone wrong. But one has to wonder how you can accidentally torture an entire family, accidentally cut someone's eyes out, or accidentally rape them for days. The crimes in this country seem to take on a far more wicked nature than those in most of the world.
It's not about robbing or stealing. It's been classified, especially on the crime stats as well, that it's attacks or robberies, burglaries. But because there is no statistic for farm murders currently in South Africa, the brutality of the farm murders in South Africa is undescribable. The things that you see on farm murders, the torture, the time it took to do the killings, the brutality and the ongoing torture is unbelievable. People's eyes are being removed, parts of their bodies, limbs, being raped with objects, not even by themselves. I think if you look at the worst movies ever made, it's not really a patch against what is really going on there.
I wanted to find out what could motivate such gruesome attacks, but given their sensitive work with the South African police, a state-controlled force, Eileen made it clear she wasn't able to answer certain questions.
90% of the increase we found is due to unemployment, racial discrimination, and there's no hope. If you don't start your own business in South Africa, where are you going to work? There's no work.
Racial discrimination against who, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I have to be careful.
Careful.
Yeah,
Because
I have to be a little bit careful.
We work very closely with government. Racial discrimination against...
No, it's okay.
We have to be so careful.
Even if she couldn't comment on this, with the government nearly ignoring the issue altogether, and certainly not releasing research on it, one can only speculate on motives. But one thing that is becoming certain is that things are getting worse.
They started weekly. We would get one call a week to come and assist at either farm attack or farm murder. Now it's daily. It's definitely daily. It's increased unbelievably.
Hearing these stories from the Blood Sisters is not an easy thing to do. Believe me, I have these just horrific, evil images that they described burned into my memory. But when the South African government refused to publicly discuss this problem and potential solutions to it, and even seem willfully ignorant of it, just playing it off as simple burglaries, we have to do the job that the government and the mainstream media won't and talk about this issue now, because otherwise we are going to be hearing a lot more of these dreadful tales. Hey guys, this video is just one of the many stories I want to show you from my trip here in South Africa. In fact, when I get back, I plan on working on a longer form documentary about the entire trip. If you'd like to find out more about how you can support that project and other stories being told like this one, or if you'd like to find out about the people in the stories and how you can support them and the farmers of South Africa, please check out the links in the description below. And of course, a big thank you to everyone who has been supporting this trip and been super encouraging to me and this channel. It means the world to me. I'll see you next time.